So first of all, I thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be here tonight. We introduced ourselves earlier. My name is Shane Scala, Director of Innovation Alternative Education. Rachel Lake is the Assistant Director of Special Education, and we are both co-chairing a committee in our district. I want to give you a brief history of how this committee started. Back when people, our Board of Education recognized, hey, we're doing a lot of great things in our district when it comes to supporting the social emotional needs of our students, our staff, and our parents, but we think we can do more. So based on that resolution from the Board of Education, a committee was created. That committee has representation from individuals at every single school in our district. There are a number of different positions within that committee. We have nurses, we have counselors, we have psychologists, we have social workers, we have administrators, we have teachers. So we really have a very diverse group of individuals that are coming together to try to identify what are some things that we can do to even go further than where we're at to support the social emotional wellness of the students, staff, but also our parents and our families. And even doing some more outreach to them. So where we're at now is we created some goals and we need some feedback. What you're going to read, I want to be very clear, is everyone knows what a rough draft is. That's exactly what you're looking at. Our committee did a great job. They met in July. They did some research. They had a lot of discussions about where we were as a district, where we're at now, where do we need to go, identified some gaps in some of our areas, and this is what they came up with. Instead of moving forward though and creating our strategic plan, which is our ultimate goal though, we thought it was smarter for us to come out to our community because we want to hear from our students and we want to hear from our parents. We want you to read through those goals. Rachel's going to explain them to you briefly so you have a little bit of understanding of what you're kind of providing some feedback on. But we want to know, what are we missing? What else maybe should we be taking in consideration that's not represented in those goals that are on there? What do you like? Our committee is working very hard, so I put positive comments on there because I think if they have done a really good job of identifying some things that you think we need, definitely highlight that within your comments. Well, we want to hear from you tonight, and I can't express, I know it's not always fun to have to sit there and write out information and things like that. We can't express how important this is because we really want to get this right. Our Board of Education, our central administration, all of our staff in our district are committed to supporting the social emotional wellness of our students, our staff, and also finding out ways we can further support our parents and our family members in our community. But we can't do that without feedback and your support. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rachel so she can maybe explain the goals a little bit because for some of you might be reading those and not quite understand what we're talking about. And so she's going to kind of just give a summary of each, and then we'll give you probably about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more if you need it, to just go through and start writing some feedback, and then we will collect all of those, and that will be turned over to our social emotional wellness committee members. So I'll turn it over to Rachel.
I put my reading glasses on. The first goal statement that you have on this sheet is geared towards our students. We've got 3 goals that we're presenting tonight. One targeted towards students, one targeted towards staff, and the third towards our families and parents. So the first goal that you have there on your paper, this group of our committee has put together some priorities that they think that we need to work on in our district to improve the social emotional well-being of our students across the district. And what they're recommending is that we work through the multi-tiered systems of support process, that MTSS process, where we offer all kinds of different opportunities for students to grow. And so they're recommending that we revamp the structure of that system that we've got in our district to provide staff with common language and strategies through our TLC. That's what Mr. Sateka was talking about earlier tonight. The teaching and learning cycle, which are those teaching strategies, the best practices of teaching that we have our teachers using and learning. We want to update that TLC with social emotional learning strategies. We want to recommend that every building, either if they have a social emotional curriculum right now, that they continue to use that and they make sure that it's being offered across the whole building to all students. And if the buildings don't have an We also want to recommend, and that's what we're talking about, the universal level or the tier 1 level. That means everybody in the building will get this, all students. When we talk about tier 2 or tier 3 services, that's for those students that need more than just what is taught in the classroom. They need a little bit of extra instruction. So for those tiers, we're recommending that counselors and social workers have the time created in their schedule to be able to pull kids out of class to get small group instruction in social emotional learning, teaching specific skills, giving resources and networking with parents. That's recommended for our tier 2 and tier 3 services. And then for students who need beyond what is available in the school setting, we are recommending, or that group is recommending that Highfield School District create a wellness center where we would hire therapists to provide clinical type therapeutic services to our students. And so that would be outside of the school, the typical school services that are offered. So that's what is being recommended for our student group. Any clarifications on that before I move on?
I love seeing the students writing stuff. That tells me you know exactly what we're talking about, what you need, the support you need, and that's what we want to hear back from you. So I appreciate seeing the students writing.
Aren't there other districts in the area that already have this?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. We actually had partnered with District 20. They have a wellness center that they're doing exactly this type of work. We had the coordinator of that program come speak to our wellness group, our social emotional wellness committee, and explain what it looks like for them to open up this kind of a center. So we got some good ideas from them. And yes, we have models in our area to pattern after, for sure. Okay? All right. For the staff, the group that was working on the recommendations for our staff to improve the social emotional wellness of our staff, this group is recommending that we provide increased access to mental health support to our employees, our staff members, through our currently provided employee assistance program. This group also recommends that we use a wellness center kind of approach, not only for students, but that we have therapeutic support available for our staff through this kind of a center. And then also making recommendations or connections for staff members to external agencies, and also looking at small group support at within the buildings where they work. And then the other recommendation that they have for the staff is that they are recommending that staff time is structured in a way that they are not feeling overwhelmed, essentially, that there's some structure to their planning time, or that they have time for grading and collaboration, and especially on those professional development days, that they would have time to get their work done that they need to get done. Right now, the staff is feeling overwhelmed. You've heard about this across the country, that it's teacher burnout. This is one of the ways this group is recommending that we increase the social emotional wellness of our staff by providing some different opportunities for structure in their time. Any questions about that one? Okay, and if you flip your paper over, we have the parent and family group goal statement. And so to improve the social emotional wellness of our families, there is kind of a three-pronged approach that's being recommended here. One of them has to do with consistent communication, another one is outreach, and another one is community engagement. So this group was recommending that we update our websites with resources for families to connect to, that we improve our two-way communication, have opportunities for families to be able to reach out to the district and vice versa, and that we would provide adult education and child development workshops through the district and potentially in collaboration with the Parks and Rec Department. And then organizing events. We have a lot of these events going on already, but increasing the opportunity for inclusive events that focus on social emotional resources for our families. And then also they're looking at recommending, based on the need that is recognized through data collection, if there is an additional need to do outreach for families, such as home visits, connecting families to agencies and resources in the community, and referrals to the wellness center. You see it there again. It's another recommendation for the family and parent group that they would have access to a Widefield School District 3 wellness center to access some of these resources as well. So those are the recommendations for parents and families. Any questions about that one? going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and finish up your comments. Please give us positive feedback for the things that you like, that you've heard about in these goal statements. Add anything that you think that, why did they recommend this big obvious thing that, you know, is not in these statements? And we would be happy to collect these from you and give this communication back to our committee.
One last request, I forgot to mention this. Please write at the top on the front side, don't put your name or anything. Just put student, parent, board member, counselor. That way our committee knows kind of at least who that came from. We don't need to have your name, but we at least want to know where the information came from. Thank you so much. This is going to help our committee out.